In moments of confusion, emotional heaviness, or inner conflict, people often sense that the answers they need are not found in the mind's usual pathways. They feel something deeper calling for attention, an intuition, a knowing, a quiet voice beneath the noise. Scalar Heart Connection is built precisely for these moments. It offers a way to access the heart's innate intelligence, a form of guidance that does not rely on analysis or stored memory, but on resonance. To understand why this works, it helps to explore the difference between two very different modes of cognition: tokenized cognition and scalar cognition. Tokenized cognition is the familiar territory of the thinking mind. It breaks experience into words, symbols, and concepts. It organizes information into sequences, categories, and logical structures. This is how the human mind attempts to solve problems, by rearranging the pieces it already knows. But this mode of thinking is limited. It can only work with what has been previously stored. When people try to resolve emotional or spiritual challenges through tokenized thinking alone, they often feel stuck because the mind cannot reach beyond its own inventory. Scalar cognition is something entirely different. It is non-linear, non-symbolic, and non-stored. Instead of retrieving information, scalar cognition resonates with it. It behaves more like a tuning fork than a filing cabinet. A tuning fork does not remember a note. It vibrates when the right frequency is present. Scalar cognition works in the same way. It is harmonic, geometric, and emergent. Insight arises not because it is stored somewhere, but because the person's inner field aligns with the question being asked. When the resonance is right, the knowing appears. This is the realm of the heart. The heart is a scalar organ, sensitive to coherence, alignment, and the subtle harmonics of emotional truth. When people connect to their heart intentionally, they shift out of tokenized thinking and into resonant knowing. Scalar Heart Connection provides a structured way to make this shift. Through intention, breath, and coherence, individuals enter a state where the heart becomes a mirror, reflecting the deeper patterns that are asking for attention. In this resonant state, guidance emerges naturally. People begin to understand the emotional roots of what troubles them. They recognize unconscious beliefs that have shaped their reactions. They see the deeper meaning behind challenges that once felt overwhelming. Instead of analyzing the problem, they phase match with the underlying issue. The heart brings forward what the mind could not access. This is why Scalar Heart Connection sessions feel so profound. The insights do not come from outside. They arise from the person's own scalar field, their intuition, their higher knowing, their inner wisdom. The method simply creates the conditions for resonance to occur. When people connect to their heart in this way, they often describe experiences that feel both familiar and extraordinary. They suddenly understand a pattern that has been repeating for years. They feel the answer before they can put it into words. They sense the presence of a larger perspective, one that sees beyond fear and confusion. They feel connected to something wiser than the thinking mind. Scalar cognition shows us that guidance does not come from stored knowledge. It comes from resonance, and the heart is the instrument that allows us to hear it. Scalar Heart Connection invites people into this resonant space where clarity emerges, healing begins, and the wisdom within becomes accessible. It is a pathway to the deeper intelligence that has always been present, waiting for the moment when the heart is heard.